Freeloaders. I'm Mike Papa Foxtrot.
And I'm 3T.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download, bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at Cities Skylines PlayStation 4 Edition, which is a single-player, open-ended city-building game. Players engage in urban planning by controlling zoning, road placement, taxation, public services and public transportation, maintaining various elements of the city including its budget, health, employment and pollution levels. The game also features a sandbox mode which provides more creative freedom. The game was released for the Windows, Mac OS and Linux in March 2015, with ports to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 being released in 2017. And these are our first impressions. So, you had heard of this before we were disappointed last week with the revelation of the two games that were coming out this month. What's your non-play? Have you actually played it, or have you just heard more about it?
No, I've played the No Relation City Builder, which is Sim City, because they're apparently not connected. So I don't think I played Cities Skylines. Or sorry, Cities. Right. Skylines.
PlayStation 4 edition.
Which is incredibly clunky title. As
it's terrible because you do fall into less more colourful language accidentally by saying it too quickly.
Yes, I mean that's the problem with the word cities anyway. I'm just going into the options and just doing the usual nonsense that I have to do before I do anything, including turning the audio down because. Why not?
Well, I'm just going to leave it. It's quite pleasant. I mean, we've been talking, and I've had my headphones in for a while. And as I said to you before, the background ambient music over this menu screen, I've heard about 10 minutes of it, and it's really covered a lot of different genres. It's gone anywhere from like a Jurassic Park feel to a sort of Logan's Run feel. There's some real just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks at you, because I don't suppose many people sit on the menu for this long.
No, that's the thing. Go. I mean, we generally do. I mean, it's actually, to be honest, one of the few games we've had where the menu has actually stood still. So at least
it's definitely my speed.
Still.
I'm not having to turn it down or anything.
or having to continuously push X to stop some kind of weird animation or louder music level playing or something like that. But this is a slightly... I don't know. I mean, we might be blown away by it. I mean, I doubt it, but we might be blown away by City Skylines. But it is a little bit of a depressing month.
It's captive audience
for many reasons. Because, basically it's a simulator or a simulator. And they probably both have sandbox modes, and one is farming and one is cities. So it's like, urban. We're about to engage in an urban environment, rather we could have engaged in a rural environment with Farm Simulator or whatever it was called. But
I do feel
after Goat Simulator, forget it.
I feel like you're giving PlayStation a little bit too much credit there, as if they've themed it carefully. They haven't. This is basically, we know nobody's going to complain this month because they're getting their games, and then what else are they going to do? Go and buy a game. Because they know most people are in lockdown, so
I have had to resist dropping an F-bomb. I don't want. I want to keep this original series Star Trek, and not, for example, Discovery.
not Discovery. Okay.
Unfortunately, the content is sadly Discovery Picard, but I'm going to pretend it's TOS TNG and DS9, and maybe even a tad of Voy, just for fun.
So I think I'm going to take my Sims experience, and I'm going to, if it offers me a tutorial, I'm going to take it. I don't know about you.
Right, I'm not going to take the tutorial because I think that's nice. I mean, I've already shown everyone the options menu off while we've been talking, so it's nice to get to see the different parts of the game. So I'm going to push new game. And let's see what happens.
There's two very different halves of a picture. Do you want a new map, a very nice peaceful one, or do you want a tornado taking away a donut van and a hot dog van? I think that is.
It's got a donut on it, and the other one's got a banana on it. I mean, I didn't realise. And a scooter and a police car. It's a little bit weird. There's like a donut van and a banana van. I didn't know that was a thing, but all right.
Door-to-door bananas. What are we doing then? New map or new scenario?
I don't know.
I'm just going to go for the first one on the left. I'm going to go new map, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's do new map.
It's not looking very tutorial-y. So I've got Blackwoods, Cliffside Bay, Diamond Coast, Foggy Hills, Grand River, Green Plains. There's a lot of options. Islands, Lagoon Shore, River Runs. I know people can read, but you know what? I'm going to read them anyway.
There's a lot of locked out stuff. I don't know if you noticed on the title screen, but there was a paid DLC as well that was on the left, on the right-hand side of the top menu. I noticed. A lot of this stuff is locked out, which is interesting.
I'm going to keep this basic. I'm going to stick to Blackwoods. City name is going to be changed to Threetyville.
I've lost Blackwood. Oh no, there it is. Threetywood. Okay.
Threetyville. I don't know if you'll be able to see my input. Springwood, Threetyville. Just realised what I've done there. I didn't delete first. There we go. Threetyville. Left-hand traffic. Sure.
Mikeston. Left-handed traffic.
You coward for not doing the whole thing.
I just couldn't be bothered. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to make it right-handed traffic. No, left-handed traffic.
I've made it blue, which I think means it's left-hand traffic. So I'm going next.
I have to say the menus are a bit weird. It's like because you would expect that. Why is that just like a toggle light? And not actually. It's very odd. It's very. I mean, surely it must have taken them more effort to put that in than actually just change it from left to right.
I don't know.
I'm going to leave it as right.
I'm on left. Dynamic weather, fine. I'm just going to use all the basics. I'm not going to unlock any cheats. I don't see the point of that. I'm not going to get the game experience if I do. So I've clicked start.
Unlimited soil. What?
It's dirt cheap.
Taxes and housing levels. Citizens in high-level housing pay more taxes than people in low-level housing. Really? You would have never have guessed that, would you?
Is that your loading screen fact?
That is my loading screen tip, yeah. And a weird bird, a round angry bird trademark,
it's like,
which is spinning around.
Yeah. It's like the Twitter logo has been generated in Angry Birds. Hello! Let's start by building some roads and zoning the areas next to them. Buildings will spawn on the zoned areas and you will unlock new city services and buildings as your city grows. For help, press R3. Okay.
I was going to let you keep on reading.
I'm sorry. For help, press R3. It will provide you with information regarding the menu or view you have open or the item you have selected. You can view detailed information about your city at any time by holding triangle to open the radial info menu and selecting an info menu with L. Right, that's fine. Close that then.
Why don't we call it green triangle?
Well, maybe because there's no other triangles on.
No, I'm just.
Don't make me think too much. It's painful.
Oh, it's nice. The zoom in and zoom out are the trigger buttons, which is nice. That's nice. And it's trying to get me to build something.
That's a good test of how well synced up the audio and video is, isn't it? With me zooming in and out. So, highlight the roads tool on the toolbar using left and right, and select it with X, blue X. Next, what?
I didn't understand any of my tutorial, so I am currently struggling.
Build a road. I do like the bing. Like a lift arriving. Highlight the roads tool on the toolbar. Yeah. Right, build a road using the cursor and X. Right. Well, I've got two menus open now.
I can't build. I don't understand.
Cursor.
Right, push
I don't
X.
have a cursor.
Press highlight the two-lane road. Highlight. Oh, I have to find it.
Right. Okay. I'm there.
God.
I know. I'm not stupid. So. If you've watched the Sims video, you know I am stupid.
Well, I have no idea what's going on. Oh, triangle.
Right.
Oh,
What's annoying
triangle.
is it keeps giving me this build a road menu, and it's shown me that about 3 or 4 times now. Construction cost. What's the longest road I can build? I got $70,000.
Highlight the roads on the toolbar. Okay. Highlight roads on the toolbar. Yeah. Why won't it let me highlight roads on the toolbar?
Angles and grid guides. Distance too short. Alright, well I'll do a longer road then. I'm going to go all the way through the trees.
I'm lost here. I have no idea. Right. I don't know what I'm doing.
Neither do I. It's great. Distance too short.
I can't draw roads. I keep going round in circles. I'm following the instructions. Am I following the instructions again? Highlight the roads tool on the toolbar. L3.
I think I've lost my mind a little bit. How do I go back?
I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. The help menus are not helpful. They're not showing what highlight. Okay, highlight. Here we go. Let's just see if this makes sense, right? Highlight the road tool on the toolbar using the D-pad, right? And it indicates left and right. Okay.
Yep.
And then it says, and select it with X.
Yep.
Okay. So I've moved it, but nothing is happening when I move it and select it with X.
Yeah.
Right?
So you probably need to select it again. So you should have a second menu above the other one.
I figure we need to get rid of that, right? And then I can move backwards and forwards. But no, it doesn't. So then I push triangle and select roads, and that doesn't work.
No, triangle, you don't need triangle. I have not pressed triangle since it told me to press triangle.
Oh, have I broken it already?
No, you haven't. It's just one of those things. Yeah, you should have a menu and you should have road. And when you click it, the way you know you've clicked the right roads menu is you'll have a big blue cursor thing, big blue circle on the screen, and you can attach. I mean, I've just drawn a big mess of roads all over this thing. I went a bit insane, and now I'm having to delete all the roads I made.
I genuinely isn't working for me. I have no idea.
I'm trying to work out if you're just trying to make me feel better for Sims.
No. You will see the footage soon. It's just literally, I'm quite happy just to sit and just enjoy this. I've already got a trophy, so I'm ahead of the game. It gave me a trophy. I don't know. Just a little trophy popped up. Maybe it was like a sympathy trophy. It was like, oh dear, you appear to be a moron. Let's give you a trophy.
Oh, I can delete things massively, but I don't know how I did it. It's just giving me a great big erase tool.
Network apologises for giving you 2 simulating games and noticing that you're a moron. Have a trophy. Thanks, Mike. Enjoy life.
You should have. Right, so along the bottom, right, you've got the date, even though it's not actually... Oh, it's skipping on, right? Mine's up to the 21st of May by now. You should have money and Miketon or whatever, right? Then above that, you've got a little construction menu going horizontally. Have you got a second menu above that?
No.
Okay, so go to the top, go to the road bit and press X on those 2 roads that are leading into your city.
Yeah.
Press X.
I'm doing that. I've been doing that all the time. Yeah.
I don't know
and then when I do that, a little menu pops up and says, "Build a road. Highlight the roads tool on the toolbar using."
So press circle on that one. Make that go away.
Yeah, done that.
Where's your other menu? Have you used the D-pad to go left and right to select a road icon on the bottom menu?
It's not working.
Oh, you need to go right at least once, I think, on the D-pad.
I've gone left, I've gone right, I've gone up, I've gone down. I've gone round and round and round in circles. I have stopped time just to see if that would make a difference. And I've now paused time. I can pause time, and every time I float over the roads, it says, build a road. Highlight the roads tool, and then it shows me next to the house with the magnifying glass, it shows me a little red box that flashes and says, hey, this is a road tool. And I go, oh, all right, assuming that then I can click the left or right mouse button to get there. But no, it won't let me get off the house. So I don't know what I've done.
I can't work it out because I just came out and went back in. I pressed circle to come out of it, and then I had to try and build a road again. My problem, the next problem on the list, is it keeps telling me the road I'm building is too short. But I covered the whole map in roads, and it still didn't like it.
I don't know what to do at the moment.
Slope too steep.
This might be an incredibly short episode, friends. Because I'm desperately trying not to drop an F-bomb, and I am also trying not to rage quit. I am feeling a little bit of Sims. But
okay.
I don't know if I've done something wrong. That's what I can't work out, because I've paused time now just because I don't want to waste time, but that should still allow me to build things.
What I'm not understanding is it's telling me to build roads, and then when I build a road and it says no, that's distance is too short, mate, you can't have that. You don't want that road. Well, I do. This is my roads. I've built my roads. What else can I do?
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to my controller.
A 2-lane, one-way road.
Oh! That changed something. Oh, I was in some kind of weird edit mode. Oh, okay. Now I have control. Don't quite ask me, I don't know quite what happened, but I now have the ability to draw a road. I don't know what I have done different.
Zoning and districts. Zones determine what kind of building. I can't. I am almost physically incapable of reading that. It just is boring.
I suppose I should start time again.
Just gonna.
Okay.
Just gonna.
I've built a road. I've built a road.
I built a roundabout.
I've built a road. Oh, I'm just blown away. I've built a road. Enter bulldozer mode by pushing square.
Low density commercial zone. Okay, well that's here then, I've decided. That's not what I thought it was going to do. Let's have another one on this side. Let's fill it with low density commercial zones.
I've got the bulldozer mode. Does that just allows you to destroy things? Select zone from the toolbar. Okay. So how do I do that again? Zoning. Which one is zoning? Oh, zoning and districts.
D-zone. Oh, that's how you remove zones. What's this? Okay. Utilities. Go on. Power plants produce electricity for all your modern city needs. Okay, fine. Well, I would like to make a... What's this? A coal power plant. Don't know. I think I'll have a wind turbine. That seems a bit more environmentally friendly. I'm just going to put wind turbines everywhere, all around the outside. Not enough money. You need more money to build this. Well, you made me piss all my money away. Sorry, but I got green energy trophy. I had to... I had to spend all my money building roads because it kept telling me they weren't long enough. Okay, well now I can't buy anything else.
So glad I pushed pause.
I'm gonna put power lines everywhere, all across the roads.
Oh no,
lines. You need more money to build this. All right. Well, I got $7 left in the bank. I started off with 70,000. So that tells you how expensive roads are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can I open my city now? Is this like Prison Architect or like Theme Park? Can I just go, yeah, come and live here. I've got an industrial zone, I've got a low density commercial zone, and we got a load of electricity coming in from three windmills. Because apparently they're too expensive for me. I've got 100. Oh, my money's going up every day. That's good. Water pipe, fine. This is very in depth, isn't it?
Yeah. I got green energy.
Drain pipes. What else can I do?
I got green energy. I got green energy. I just want to build houses now.
Yeah, good luck. I don't think yet. Oh, hang on. That's an inspector. What happens? The inspector allows you to... Oh, no, I thought it was going to bring somebody in to come in and tut at me for being rubbish. What?
A coal power plant? You must be joking. I'm not building a coal power plant. Zoning
Healthcare and education.
What's this? Low density commercial zone. Oh, yes, please. Let's have one of them. A low density commercial zone. Oh! They build their own houses.
Do they?
Oh, well, that makes sense, I suppose. That means I'll need a road. Okay. Okay, well, that's. I know how to build. I can build roads. I can do roads now. So that's good. So what we'll do is we'll just drop a road out here like this.
Where transport? See, I've got power and I've got a couple of zones, but how are they building things?
Oh, because I've zoned them as like domestic. They're building houses. They're all moaning that they haven't got any water at the moment, but at the moment I'm afraid I'm a really, really, really terrible mayor, and I'm currently not caring about the residents.
But I've got zones. I've got zones and I've got electricity, so I don't know why I've not got anybody building houses.
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing what I'm doing at the moment. What is that?
Could be because I've built such incredibly poor roads. Let's join up the intersection.
Yeah, I've literally done square roads. Right, so I need to do plumbing now. So plumbing.
I can't afford roads. Oh, I'm not making money. I'm actually in debt.
Well, that'll be that.
I'm at minus 652.
Can I put the plumbing in the centre here like this? Or do I have to run it under people's houses?
Can I get a refund?
Do I have to connect it? Does that work? I have no idea. Oh yeah, we'll just dump that into the sea. Nobody cares. No one will care about that. Yeah, we'll just put that in the sea.
I don't know what you're doing. I honestly have no clue what you're doing. Residential zone. Zoning. Build more residential zone. Alright. I will. See if I don't. Is this residential? This can be residential. That's by a commercial zone. That sounds fun. Yeah, let's all live by the sea. Steakhouse. They're going to build a steakhouse. Oh, let's all have fun eating meat. Where is the other zone?
Then you need to build water towers. Ah, right. Let's do some water towerage then.
How do I know what's a good place for pipes? I'm not a clever person. I
have no idea. I've just banged them. I've just banged them down the centre of the road where I put my power conduits. Basically, I'm building it like I would build a spaceship.
Well, yeah, but I haven't thought about how I'd build a spaceship.
I have just run out of money, though.
Yeah, demolish some stuff, and then they'll give it back to you. Construction costs.
Oh, I'm not
All right,
destroying.
in that case,
I'm not
I want water.
I'm not
I
destroying.
want water by the residential.
I'm not destroying.
Not enough money. Distance too short. Well, that's not my problem, is it?
Oh, do they have to be connected? Oh, they need to be connected with pipes. Well, why didn't
How did you get people to
say?
start moving in?
They just moved in. I mean, I don't know why, because there was no electricity when they moved in, and there was nothing. They just started moving in. I was amazed. But
I'm going to demolish some stuff.
You need money. Tell me about it. Is there a town over there? I was going to go and destroy something in their town. Right, so... Okay, let's go to the bulldozer tool then, and let's very, very carefully... How do we make the bulldozer tool smaller?
Don't think you can. I just use the edge of it.
Raise or lower?
I've got no idea how to do anything. I know that'll be a shock to people who have watched more than one of our videos, but I am quite clueless here.
Well, I mean, you can't be any more clueless than I was at the beginning, so, I mean, don't worry about it. I mean...
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any progress. I've got zones. Yeah, I've made zones. I understand the zones, right? But nobody's building anything. All I've done is marked out, this will be a commercial zone. They're saying something about water. Oh, no, there are houses there. It's just everything's dark. It's like nighttime all the time. We've got no water. We'll live somewhere else then.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm struggling with the water at the moment. That's
bulldoze.
Water pumping station. Oh, well, that might help. Oh, okay. That might help.
I'll bulldoze everything and start again.
Does it have to go on the coast? Or can it go? Not enough money. Okay. Oh, no, you can't bulldoze everything.
Size. Yeah, you can make your bulldozer smaller with just the D-pad left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't bulldoze my power towers. I've got rid of everything and I'm still in debt. It's time to move to Mexico.
I've got industry moving in now, but nobody's got any water. But I have connected up the power. So I connected up the power to my turbines, but I think I overstretched myself and I added too many water towers in, which got me money. I've got minus $3,000. Is there a bank loan option? Is there a way I could go?
I don't know, because I'm on minus 300 and it's not letting me build anything else. So I've just demolished everything to try and get a refund, and now I've just got an empty bloody town again. So I don't know what to do. Is there a restart? How do I restart?
Oh, you can't.
I would like to have another go. Bing. That's not helped me.
Interestingly, I've got 224 residents, and they are mostly happy, apparently.
I'm going to quit. And I'm going to have another go.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to persevere, because...
Well, I haven't got the choice. I can't build anything else.
Well, I've got cars driving around and everything. It's really nice. I mean, I had a bit of a shaky start, so I get it, but... I mean...
The day-night cycle's throwing me off, because I can't really see what I'm doing in the night one.
We can turn that off, you know.
Yeah, I've just gone back and turned it off on the new version. I haven't changed it to 3Tville. This is just called Rockwood. We're about half an hour in, so I'm getting close to saying first impressions are nearly over. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think... yeah, I would say that I think I had an unlucky start, because I ended up getting stuck in a menu. I kind of understand it. It is like SimCities, but it isn't at the same time. It's got that kind of thing where you've obviously got to connect utilities up and things like that. And I think I understand the basics. The tutorial was reasonably helpful, but I got stuck in some kind of weird mode, which I still don't know what it was, which locked me out from the menu. So it was unfortunate, but it was as unfortunate as my motorcycle getting stuck in a checkpoint kind of thing, which always annoys me and makes me wonder about the polished nature of games. I am losing money. Apparently I'm losing about $2,500 an hour or something like that. So I'm I probably
I'm
need
glad
to
it wasn't
work.
just me.
I probably need to work out how to get taxation going on. But how about we say that they are our first impressions, and we will continue to be frustrated for some time more. That guy's roller skating. That guy's... Is he roller skating? No, he was skateboarding. He's got a skateboard under his arm.
I have yet to see any living people
Anyway,
in mine,
so how about we, 3T and I, go away, and I've got lots of red stuff starting to light up now. 3T and I go away, try to gain control of our environment, and we'll be back for you momentarily, but for us, it'll probably be some time, and I suspect there'll be a lot of swearing.
So, we've put a little bit of time into Cities Skylines PlayStation 4 edition. Mike, what did you make of this game after having spent a little bit more time with it?
Well, after having spent quite a lot more time than I actually expected I was going to spend with it, I've actually... I found it enjoyable. I found it a very peaceful game, obviously a very creative game. I mean, for the most part, I've been playing in the sandbox, and I haven't actually played the scenarios where you kind of have to troubleshoot, put out fires quite literally, and try to sort of survive. So I've mostly been playing in the sandbox because that's the more relaxing side of the game. But from a very shaky start, where I got locked into some weird menu that stopped me actually progressing for a very long time until I accidentally managed to shift out of it again and follow instructions, which did make me very angry. My tone has somewhat changed, and I found it quite enjoyable. Sunday morning, for example, I was just playing it while I was having a cup of coffee for an hour. It's that kind of game that you can just pick up and just play, and I could see it being a horrible time sink. But what about you? What about your feelings, Andy?
Yeah, I think part one shows that I softened very quickly to it. I was slightly annoyed when it was first revealed as the two games were, what the two games were this month, and just having a bit of a play. I think you're right. It's quite relaxing. I think if we're looking at our first criteria, usually we would talk about playability, replayability. It's very playable. It's easy to pick up. It's quite self-explanatory. There's a tutorial mode, which, like you say, in the sort of sandbox mode, it's a bit... It continually, every time you start a new city, it's like, this is how you build roads, and you have to go, yeah, thanks, I know. This is how you do that, yeah, I know. But it's it's fine. It's relaxing. It's pretty much what you expect it to be, and possibly even more simplified. I was glad that it was a bit simpler than I thought it was going to be. I expected it to be kind of a really involved, and I mean it can be as involved as you like, but I was expecting it to be a lot more involved than it is. You can play it on a very basic level, which is really useful for me. I think you've probably done a much deeper dive into it. I mean, do you find that it does? Is there a higher level of complication that I'm not really seeing, or is it as basic as I'm experiencing at my own level?
I think there is a lot more. I haven't gone that far into it, but you can start setting tax policies, and then it unlocks you're able to subzone zones and parks, and you can then micromanage things. And so I think that you can. I think you hit the nail on the head that you can make it as complicated as you want as you unlock things. Slight frustration though that every time you do start a new city, it does go back to the beginning, and you do get all the little tooltips flashing up again. Yeah. But then I'm guessing if you've built a city over 12 months, and for some strange reason you decide to start again, maybe you have forgotten all the basics.
Maybe you do need it.
Because perhaps you do. So I don't think it's something... I mean, it is a little bit irritating sometimes. I mean, I was getting irritated with the little Twitter messages as well sometimes. I don't care what you think. Go away. But I think you can dive into the menus and turn them off. And it's quite nice just to sit and watch. I mean, I was watching... one of my restaurants had a car park outside, and there was a moped in the disabled parking space, and I was just thinking, okay, but why have you parked in the disabled parking? And I did actually hover for a very long time, waiting for the person to come out. I just wanted to see where they went, because I was going to destroy their home for parking in a disabled parking spot. But then something else came up, and I moved away. So there's lots of weird little things that you can do. It's as interesting as I think you want it to be. I have played with like resetting tax values, but for the most part, I've had the most satisfaction just letting the game unlock gradually in front of me, and just letting the game do most of the balancing. It's sort of let them do the building, and you just help them out when you need. Like, it'd be like little icon flashes up, and it says we need workers over here, and you think, "Ooh, time to add some more residential area." Then, little bit of an electrical icon here. Ooh, time to add another wind turbine here. That kind of thing is kind of how I've been playing it. But I'm pretty sure that once you build a big city and you start buying extra plots of land to increase it, it becomes very, very complicated very, very quickly. Or you can just go back and let the place run itself. So going on with that, what about fun factor for you then? Because I definitely had fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, like you say, you can get absorbed into the sort of smaller details. I don't know if it's formed part of the editing here, but I did just, once the medical centres were up and running, I just sort of followed ambulances around for a bit, which there's a lot of little things going on. It's I don't know if we've used the term so far, but I would describe it as a fish tank game. You can just quite happily set up some stuff. It's sea monkeys. Set up some things. Just watch what's going on. As long as everybody's got
they're
power.
not going to die as quickly.
Yeah, everybody's got power, everybody's got water, everybody can access stuff. You can have a bit of time just I mean, I don't know really how much mileage there is in that, but you know what? It's quite easy to lose half an hour sometimes, isn't it? With stuff like that. I was
following a couple of bin lorries around. And I think I've actually been following cars. I was following some cars up a road in the night, because I was impressed that even though the three cars were basically the same car, they all had slightly different hues on their, slightly different. What would you call it? Warm values of their headlights. Like, one definitely had some kind of neon lights. One had sort of normal incandescent lights, and the other was rocking some kind of like high intensity blue light sort of things. And it was quite just interesting, the little details that have gone into it. I mean, I think in part one I said, I think somebody's roller skating. Oh no, they're skateboarding. And I followed him up the road. He got off his skateboard and started walking. Little things like that are fascinating. But and you can sort of just add and build. I mean, there are similarities between lots of other games, but I do, yeah. It's got fun. I mean, I don't know. Like, the problem is, I don't know how long that fun will last. But then I am easily absorbed in games like this, which is why I don't like just picking them up, because games that have become time sinks like this, a game where like Sunday morning, more than just over an hour went by, and luckily I was rescued when the phone rang. And so I think that shows that for me there was a fun factor, because time was no longer something to consider. But that also is a little bit worrying as well.
Yeah.
What about games that you think it was similar to then?
The thing that on the PlayStation, at least, because I haven't played a lot of city building games, I haven't played all the classic ones, but the thing that it makes me think of most is Prison Architect. That's what I've played a little bit of, where you are literally just setting up things. Okay, this needs to have that. Let's put the power lines in. Let's make sure that there's lights here. Let's make sure that this, is all set up. And it's got that similar. It's not got the sense of humour of Prison Architect, or the very dark sense of humour sometimes. But it's not got that. It's not got the personality, I'll say, rather than sense of humour. The personality of something like Prison Architect, but it's got the same kind of construction feel. And I think that goes back to something that you said to me in between our recording sessions is that actually, is it suited to a PlayStation? Maybe not. Maybe not a controller. It's the kind of game that would work much better with a mouse and keyboard. But sorry, jumping back and forward over criteria there. But yeah, that's the thing it makes me think of. Similarity.
Well, I mean, again, though,
about you.
With Prison Architect, again, it's as involved as you want to make it. I mean, it's you can. So it's the same kind of thing. I mean, games that it's similar to for me are Prison Architect, definitely. There was one that was called High Rise Manager, which again is a game where you build like a block of flats and you have to then manage it and you have to put like things in, and also. I can never remember the names of games when I sit. That's why I should write them down. There's one which is called the Mall, where you build shopping malls and things like that. Very similar to that. It's also very similar to Tropico, the Tropico series of games, which are again not from the sandbox side of it, but more from the actual having to solve problems. So Tropico, you have basically an island nation, and you have to first of all like bring them out of the Stone Age and then build them. It's also very similar to games like Universum, where you are God and you basically just direct the people to do things. So it's like any kind of game like that, really, where you're trying to sort of like build a civilization. I mean, even going back to, Civilization, Settlers, these kind of games are all very, very similar. And I would agree that I prefer... I mean, one of the reasons why I gave up on the Tropico, I have Tropico 5 installed on the PlayStation 4. That's quite complicated to remember. And it was basically because I didn't like the control interface. Same with Ruse on the PlayStation 3 with... It's like, again, it's very much like a real-time Risk game where you're moving forces around and trying to sort of like surprise the enemy by tricking them into doing other things. And it lost me because the PlayStation controller just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel organic when I'm playing those kind of games. I don't know if it's because I'm just PC-centric. But that said, I can forgive the games if the games are good enough. And I think that this game is probably good enough, and they've worked it all out nicely. So I think that's it. I mean, what it isn't is it isn't an easy game because you do have to think a little bit about it. You can't just it isn't a screensaver type game, but it is a game which doesn't require too much effort, I think. So what about the download bandwidth and time? It comes in at, I think, just over 10 gigabytes big. It downloaded in about 45 minutes for me, which I was quite surprised about.
It doesn't take long, and that's fine, and I think that's about right. It's not a game you want to sit around and wait for. It's something you want to, if you know you're going to be playing it later, and you want to play it later, and it's in your library. Lunchtime, start it going. As long as you've got a decent internet connection, you're going to have it by the evening at the very least. So yeah, I think it's fine. It's probably it's not taking up a lot of room on my dashboard, which is always a plus for it sticking around for longer than it might normally. I would say it's worth the hard drive space and time to have had a go on it, at least. Yeah.
The thing is, for me, it takes up about the same amount of space as the space I need to actually edit one of these episodes. And so unless something like a first-person shooter that we like playing suddenly requires another massive update, it'll probably be around for a long time. I have things that I will sacrifice before I sacrifice this, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. So here's a golden question: would you have paid for it?
No, I wouldn't have, because not now. I might have done. But would I have? No, I wouldn't have. Not at €40. No. Maybe if it was like in the bargain bucket and it was €10, perhaps. But No, I don't think I would. But that doesn't necessarily mean this isn't a good deal. And sitting there thinking about it, initially we wrote this game off along with the other game this month.
Oh, before I'd even played it, I was determined this was not a good month.
No, and I think, I don't know if having that low expectation has helped this become better, or if this genuinely is a good game. And I think this genuinely is a good game. It's a nice, creative sort of game. It's a game that you can play with other people as well, because you could have a group of people around the actual PlayStation, and you could actually be building things together. You know, something to do with your kids, maybe something to do with the one you love. You just sit there and you can just build. If you've finished Netflix and completed YouTube, maybe this is what you can do with your time, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
What about you? Would you have paid
for it?
No.
Either.
Oh.
No. I think I don't think I would. I don't think I would even now, having played it. I think it's a little bit rich for my blood. It's not for what you get. I don't think it's worth the at time of checking anyway. It was about £35. It's not something I would pay for. But as you said, I completely agree. It is not bad value. It's just not my kind of game. That being said, I think it is going to stick around on my dashboard, and I am going to go back to it periodically. So, yeah, not a bad game at all. It's very surprising. I will eat my words from the beginning of this episode and take it back. Not the best, but certainly not a bad game.
I think I'm the same. I will have to take back what I said about it. I had a little bit of a negative start, but I think that was just a small technical difficulty. But overall, a good game and a good month. And with that, this is Mike Papa Foxtrot.
And this is 3T, and we were looking at Cities Skylines PlayStation 4 edition, which is currently freeloadable from the PlayStation Network in May 2020.